as far as me in that space, gospel didn't know what to do with me. Contemporary Christians said, well, I guess.
He's still a nigga, y'all. Hey, what's going on, man? This is Expeditiously. I am Tip T.I. Harris, and we are here to speak to people who are knowledgeable and can engage in discussions that can push the culture and the community and the generation forward. My next guest is a young man who he's had an incredible journey that includes 2 Grammys, a history-making #1 album, Anomaly, which topped multiple categories, including the Billboard 200, and is RIAA Gold certified, which means he got a gold album. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they made it so wordy. He most recently headlined the Destination Tour, had a New York Times bestseller, a memoir entitled Unashamed, all right, and a breakthrough spoken word performance at the BET Hip Hop Awards, and also just, you know what I'm saying, probably one of the most memorable cipher freestyles that, you know, any of us can remember. I guess I can go on and on just by, you know what I'm saying, listening to his accolades, but I just say, man, you know, the one who made Christian hip hop popular. Not Kanye, okay? Not Kanye. This is Lecrae. What going on,
What's
bro?
happening, man?
Man, thank you so much, man, for joining us here, man.
You know, I had to do it.
Now,
I had to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, now, you have gone on record saying you don't want to be labeled as a Christian rapper.
We go with this one.
You want to be a rapper who's Christian.
Yeah.
Or want to be labeled or considered as a rapper who's Christian.
Right.
Okay, could you explain a little bit about that? What does that mean exactly?
I feel like this. So you got to think about my rise and my come up. You coming up listening to hip hop music. I'm not a church kid, so I didn't grow up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hip hop kid.
Gotcha.
You grow up in your perspective of Christian or gospel rap it's lame. It's gonna be corny. First of all, our community don't really trust the church, so it's a lot of stuff.
Oh, there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Trust is earned.
And there's lots of reasons to not trust.
That's real.
So I'm coming from all of this stuff, and I'm coming from a different vantage point. And I think what it was I didn't want. I'm talking about real life on my records. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted people to hear them for what they was, and when they started listening to it, they said, "Man, before they listened to it, I don't want to hear this gospel rap, bro. What we gonna do with this?" So I was like, "Well, take me out your box." Because Scarface made some gospel rap songs.
This is real.
Tupac
So did
made
Tupac,
some,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
UGK too?
UGK too, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if
Yeah.
you gon' that's what more or less what I'm on.
That's real.
In terms of, you know, trying to communicate my vantage point, my perspective. So I just look, Lecrae is a Christian.
Okay.
Now if you have a preconceived idea of what my music is gonna sound like, get that out your mind, because the music don't have a soul, the music don't go to heaven, the music is music. Lecrae is a Christian, so you're gonna hear his perspective.
Right.
I may talk about God.
That's right.
I may talk about
Girls.
yeah, mine.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it
You
just,
married?
Yeah, married.
Okay, how long you been married?
Man, we've been together since I was 18 years old. Well, I mean, I've known her since, so we've been
Childhood
14
sweetheart.
years, yeah.
And how long have you actually, you know what I'm saying, been married?
I mean,
Because that's when the clock starts. That's when the real work get to going.
no, so honestly, we got married young, man. Like
Word?
I said, yeah, we got married young. I was definitely just on some, like, man, let's just do this.
Right.
Let me not waste no more time, because you got to remember, I had my spiritual transformation at 19 years
Now
old.
let's talk about that spiritual transformation.
Yeah.
What actually went into that? Because you come from the streets of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Third Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Close to Cloverland, you say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know
You
what
don't
I'm
know
saying?
nothing about that, do you?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I have awareness of the area, man. I've made them my stomping ground from time to time. But what about you, man? Like, how did you go from Houston, Third Ward, to evolving into the man you are today?
Yeah, I moved around quite a bit too. So I done lived in Dallas. I done lived in Southern California. My grandma stays in Southern California. So I stayed, you know, you get migrated. Single parent home, you migrating.
That's
My
right.
mama grew up in the church, the typical black church that was very legalistic and don't wear no pants, no lipstick. So she did not want me a part of organized religion. And even to this day, I don't really subscribe to organized religion. That's a whole nother conversation.
I don't either.
Well,
now we can talk about that.
Yeah,
we can talk about that. I'm a firm believer. God is real, religion is fake. So I done said that several times, millions times before. Preachers always, they call me. I got plenty of partners who preachers, and I call them my partner because that's what we are. We friends. They just happen to be a preacher instead of a mechanic.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I believe religion has been put here by the powers that be to control large amounts of people.
And I would not disagree. I feel like I have a relationship with God. I don't subscribe to a religiosity or following a set of rules to be accepted.
Right.
So that's a whole. We can get into that.
Check this out, man. Just check this out. Like when we get into religion for one thing, okay, so as a Christian, like one of the first things that we learn or that we are taught, from the Bible is, judge lest ye not be judged.
Judge not lest ye be judged. Yeah, for sure.
You dig what I'm saying? Okay, but that concept is completely contradicted by the thought of, let's say, confessions. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the fact the entire act of a confession is to go in a booth and let an anonymous person judge you.
Right.
Who has the same ability to sin as you do, but they are in some way supposed to be in some kind of higher, upper echelon
a mediator,
position.
so to speak.
I mean, but now, could they actually tell you, give me 3 Hail Marys and such and such, you'll be forgiven? How you gonna tell me what it take to be forgiven?
And listen, shout out to all the Catholic people out there. No disrespect, I don't subscribe to that.
Man,
but let me say this.
Shout out to them, but listen, talk about the priests and the little boys. When we can deal with the priest and the little boy, I'll apologize. But you got to deal with your priest before you come talk to me, Catholics.
We all got our issues. Here's what I will say.
All right,
it pertains to, so this is what I say. As it pertains to, since we in this conversation, organized religion, or even Christianity for that matter.
Right.
I don't like it when people say, I don't like rap music. And I'm like, well, when you say you don't like rap music, what kind of rap music do you not like? Because there's all types of different rap music.
It's an expansive universe.
Exactly. It's an umbrella.
It's an amoeba of talent.
So what did you encounter that you don't like? You heard one person who was terrible, and now you have assumed this is rap music as a whole. And I think, for me, I don't subscribe to a Western, more Americanized version of Christianity. And so people, when I say I'm a Christian, people say, oh, you blank. I'm like, nah. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't put me in the I love worship blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus box, because that's not where I live.
Because that's a lie.
Yeah,
that's just a bold-faced lie.
And that's more of a Western influence. So for me, I understand that before Europeans got a hold of this, that there were Africans and Coptics, and you got folks who was being persecuted by Europeans from Africa. I understand there's a history of this faith that goes beyond white Western European. So for me, my subscription to it, now I did get duped early on, but my subscription to it was really a genuine relationship. It wasn't like this, like I'm sitting here studying something and all of a sudden, I'm like, this sounds good. It was like genuinely, man, I was dealing with a whole bunch of nonsense in my community, in my neighborhood.
Right.
My grandma, she grew up she was a, evangelist but she wasn't a preacher. Yeah. So she was a doer. And that's what I saw. I saw, man, there's something in her character that I can tell something is transformative about her.
Right.
I wanted that. You know what I'm saying?
I can't agree to that. I have seen God working through people, like genuinely working through people within the church and within Christianity and other religions as well.
Sure.
I can't say that I've seen that, and I can't say that I've recognized that, and I appreciate that. I think it's valuable. It's very valuable for us as human beings to commit ourselves and dedicate ourselves to the awareness of something greater than us.
Absolutely.
The creators. It was something that made all of this possible.
Absolutely.
And you have to give respect where respect is due to that. But however, going back to the book, says God is a jealous God. You know what I'm saying? So he don't want you to put any other images, anything else before them. Before him, I'm sorry. No other like idols or anything before him. Okay, so when a preacher come and say, pass around the plate so you could pay your tithes. Excuse me. So you could pay your tithes to God.
Yeah.
Oh, God told me not to deal with no middlemen. He done already said that in the book that you preaching out of.
Yeah.
So how is you using this book to justify your request for something that goes against what's in the book?
I think you seen the book of Eli.
I have.
So I think it's like that. I think it's people get a hold of something.
Shout out to Denzel. It's one of my favorites.
That movie's phenomenal. But they get a hold of something, and then they misconstrue it for their own. They co-opt people. We get co-opted all the time.
That's what religion is.
But I feel like then in that case, if we gonna say yes, organized religion. In that case, there's so many religions. Then we ain't even talking about spiritually because I feel like politics becomes religion in some senses. I feel like
also they're to control people.
So that's what I'm saying.
People in, control people, control their minds, their emotions, their actions.
Absolutely.
Control, guide, and direct.
So I feel like we all get co-opted. As soon as they found out, oh, you the positive rapper, well, then now Fox News wants to co-opt me.
And now all the preachers want you to come and, you know what I'm saying, they want to Kanye you. They want to Kanye you.
You said it, I didn't.
You know, I'm going to say, I say it again.
You said it, I didn't.
I ain't saying nothing to you I can't say to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think for Kanye, it's a business. But I can rock with that.
Yeah.
If I come in here knowing that this is a business, I'm coming to see a show.
Yeah.
I can rock with that.
Yeah.
Now, if you try and make me believe that I'm coming in here, you know, to get closer to God, or I'm coming in here because you have an ability to get my prayers to God before I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm coming in here because you're supposed to be some sort of an example or some sort of you're supposed to be the leader that will show me how to do what I'm not able to do myself.
Right.
But you're not.
Right.
You just a motherfucker. Excuse me. I don't want to do that.
You don't offend me.
You just a nigga in a suit, man. You just a nigga in a suit, man. Up there, man, with a mic in your hand, man, with a book.
I
reading
think
out a
if
book.
they know that, then they in good shape. It's the ones, if you know you a nigga in a suit, and you just like, look, I am not any better than you. I am no better than you. I am not holier than thou.
All of my homeboys that are preachers, that's the attitude they have. In this song, I think I'd be remiss if I did not speak on the ones that I feel are good ones. Yeah. Reverend Warnock from Ebenezer. He's a preacher that I trust. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a sincere, genuine, passionate man of God who has genuine interest to help the community and help the people in his community. Yeah. I can't take that away from him. Reverend Edwards, who's a good buddy of mine, who I met, man, when I was going through one of the toughest times of my life. He was advocating for me when he was the head of the Henry County chapter of the NAACP, man, when I was going through my case, man. He's a real dope brother, real dope brother. And New Calvary's Pastor Redmond, man, he always called me, man, you know what I'm saying, check up on me and my old lady, man, and just genuinely. Now, Clifford, I want to see you in church. Yeah. Clifford, now, I love everything you're doing. I preached my sermon today from the what you know about that. Ain't that one of your songs? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we had all kinds of conversations.
That to me is dope because that's a living, breathing example of somebody who acts out what they believe in. And so that's where I stand. Because end of the day, for me, what I do believe in exclusivity. So some people have a problem with that, but I believe in that.
When you say exclusivity,
exclusivity is I believe that Jesus is the way. Now, if you don't believe that, you are exclusive yourself because you exclusively believe he's not. So everyone is being exclusive on something. And if you say, well, you know, find your truth. Well, what if my truth says your truth is a lie? So who's true? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I feel like the reason why I rock with Christianity is not have nothing to do with being a white man's religion, nothing like that. It's because I feel like religions in their essence is all about you trying to earn the approval of man and God. And authentic Christianity to me is the only one where a brown-skinned Palestinian man reaches down and sacrifices himself, and God reaches down and says, "Nah, I'll pull you up. You ain't got to earn this. It's just genuine love." And that's what I would do for my child. I would say, "Hey, you know, if my son got caught in a case, you know, and it was a way for me to take the case for him so he could go ahead and live his life, then lock me up."
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? I'll take it. So that's how I look at the situation. And I understand everybody not going to agree with that. That's cool. I got Muslim partners. I got atheist partners. I got all kind of partners. But that's where I stand.
But your faith is important because, you know, whatever it is that shapes and molds you into a better man to walk your walk and live your truth, that's what's important. Whatever that is. I got a joke, man. I got a joke up at the Okay. So this dude died, man. He was a real religious dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Did everything right, man, abided by all the commandments. He died, man. He made it up to heaven, right? So I guess the host of heaven at the pearly gates, you know what I'm saying? He walking them around, showing them the area, and he say, okay, yeah, come this way. Yeah, okay, right over there. You see that? There's the Christians right there. Okay, shh. There, now over here. Now right over there. They're the Muslims. Okay, now here, come. Yeah. Be quiet. Right over here, those are the people of the Jewish faith. Okay, and right here, these are the Hindus. And then the guy say, well, wait a minute, man. Why are we whispering? And he say, because all of them think they the only ones here.
Hey man,
everybody think that they way in the right way, and they should.
Yeah.
And they should. What matters is a genuine connection with the Lord above, the creator of all, and your understanding that you have to make sacrifices and discipline yourself to live within the guidelines of some kind of expectation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For the world to flow. With no order, there's chaos.
And I agree with that in terms of where there's no order, there's chaos. And you also just got to be able to be okay with taking it on the chin, if you know, because everybody's gonna think they way. You know, it's just like in hip hop, and you know, cats gonna be like, man, y'all ain't really rapping. When we was rapping, they was rapping. You know what I'm saying? So it's all you gotta be able to
feel
take
like
that.
They way in the right way.
You gotta be able to take it on the
that.
chin and say, well, you know what? I think I have a perspective, and I'm always down. You know, if anybody ever I'm always down to wax philosophical with people. I don't run from that. I don't shy away from that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, you know, we can always do that with people. So
that's real.
Yeah.
Now you and I have similar philosophies and a similar quote on life.
Yeah.
Now, yours is, if you live for people's acceptance, you die from your rejection.
Yep, from their rejection.
Man, okay, so I'm going to tell you mine.
Yeah.
If you live for the cheers, you will die by the booze. Which is essentially the same thing.
It's the same thing.
You know what I'm saying?
We in a similar space in terms of like, I'm not concerning myself with y'all's approval.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I refuse to seek validation from people. I refuse because, you know what I'm saying, I was who I was before I got here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all might not just now being aware of what I am and who I am, but nothing makes me but me.
People catch up late, man.
You dig what I'm saying? And then, you know, they show up like, what did we miss?
Mm-hmm.
You missed a whole lot, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going, the tail will never wag the dog.
Yeah.
You understand that? Yeah. I'm here dictating the flow of things. I'm letting you know what's cool. I'm letting you know what's happening and what's going on.
Yeah.
And people might, you know, look at themselves as the biggest ship in the sea. Everybody want to compete to be the biggest ship in the sea.
Yeah.
Nobody want to be the little boat just trying to get it along, you know what I'm saying, rowing his way to the destination. Everybody want to be the biggest ship in the sea. But I don't give a damn how big your ship is. You will never overrule the tide.
No.
Be the tide, not the ship. You understand that?
My thought on it too is, especially in the music industry. So see, I feel like more people don't talk about this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what we here to talk about.
Most people don't talk about this.
Okay.
It's smoke and mirrors. It's all a game. It's high school. All over again. That's all it is. It's high school.
Popularity contest.
Yeah. If you knew who you was in high school, and you could carry yourself with a certain amount of self-confidence and like assurance, then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But people don't realize that, and so they get into this situation. Everybody's like, man, I want to be at the top. I gotta be at the top. I gotta get to the top.
Yeah.
But guess what happens when you get to the top? You trying to fight to stay there.
Yeah.
Because some younger,
newer
is on their way up.
It doesn't necessarily have to be better.
Doesn't necessarily have to be better.
Just younger, fresher to the ears, newer to the eyes.
And then when you're dealing with a younger demographic, younger generation, as long as they don't care, you can the same thing you said on your first album, as long as it's being said by a vessel that they choose, then they okay with it. It's like it was never.
Absolutely.
This is new. I never heard this before.
Well, because it's about life experience. See, every time music is and always has been the soundtrack to our lives.
Yeah.
So when I was doing my thing, back in, trap music, I'm serious, urban legend day, like a lot of the cats who like 19 and 20 right now, they was like 1, 2, and 3. Like that sound like, you know what I'm saying? It sound like super, super old school shit to them. You know what I'm saying? So as they come of age, they're looking for the soundtrack to their teenage years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to necessarily have to pull back, but that was the soundtrack to my dad and them life.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to pull back. I need my version of that for today. For these times.
Yeah.
I can understand that, man. You know what I'm saying? I never want to take. I don't want to take that away from nobody.
Yeah.
However, you must understand. Back to the Bible. There's nothing new under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that's being done today, huh?
You quoting them,
man? I know it. You know what I'm saying? I know it. Now I believe in. Don't. Just because I don't believe in. Most of you preachers don't think I don't believe in God. I've seen the effect God had in my life, and I know the things that have happened for me couldn't have happened if God wasn't involved.
Yeah.
Now, Vibe magazine wrote about you once and said the system may not have planned for this, and I must agree.
That's the whole idea of anomaly. It's
Absolutely.
Like how, people always want to know how. What the funny part about my story is that when you coming up in Texas and you see the Slim Thugs and the Paul Walls and the Chameleonaires selling music out their trunk independently.
Right.
I already had the mindset that I didn't need the industry in order to get my music off and to get it out. And so when they railed up again, because when I first came out, it was like, you too worldly for the church, you too churchy for the world.
See how that judgment. All that judgment.
But both sides was judging me because I walk up into the mainstream radio station and they be like, what's up, bro? Where your choir robe at? I'm like, bro, for real? You know what I'm saying?
Like get to knocking your nose off, you'll know where it's at.
You know what I'm saying? you for real, that's what we on. So, for me, it was like, all right, y'all don't have a model for what I'm doing. Y'all ain't never seen it before, so y'all can't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing. I have a firm, back to validation, because they were looking for you to seek their validation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were looking for you to conform to their standard. And you did not. And I applaud you for that. Yeah. And that's why, I celebrate and salute you. And that's what I would call an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? People, when you stand out of every category, no one can categorize you because your actions and your existence in itself will not allow for that to happen.
Right.
I have a firm belief and another saying, never fit in when you were born to stand out.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Too many people who were born to stand out is trying to fit in, man.
I agree.
And don't wait on nobody to tell you that your vision is ready,
man.
Just because they can't see it.
I'm telling you.
Your vision is your vision for a reason. God gave you that vision because you were the one supposed to carry that vision.
I feel like in the same,
you have done that.
Yeah, I had to carry this in the same way.
Because you could have tried to be in the screwed up clique. You could have, you know what I'm saying? You could have did it, the same way. Trader Truth, Fat
Shout out to Trader, my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Or Scarface, or Rapper. Like you could have been like, man, I'm trying to get down with Rapper. Like you could have did all those things.
Right.
But you chose to choose your own path,
and I had to. And it was a path of the most resistance, but in the same way I look at how New York came out, you know what I'm saying, and they did their thing, hip hop, whatever,
unapologetically too.
Yeah, they did their thing, and then the West Coast came, and then I guess
they also did their thing unapologetically.
But the East Coast wasn't really fooling with the South. Right. So the West Coast like, we don't care.
East Coast wasn't fooling with nobody.
But
people from New York. See, I just like you say, you used to go to Southern California because that's where your grandmama stayed. My daddy lived in New York. Every summer, I had to go, you know what I'm saying, stay with my daddy in New York. And I used to get to fighting up there all the time about how I talk and the music I listen to. I'm like, man, let's go get this out the way, man. Come on, let's go. Who's it going to be this year, guys? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when they saw, man, he going to stand up for his. Then it was a mutual respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They see, okay, well, they ain't just slow down now. They ain't,
That's
you know what I'm saying? They saw, man, I'm with whatever y'all with. And I'm gonna stand up for mine the same way y'all gonna stand up for yours. Do it in the way that
I know how to do it.
I got just as much pride in my from where I'm from, just as you do from where you from, and that had to be established.
That's how I felt. So imagine I'm already, coming from the South, so there's already a stigma against that. But then you saying, nah, man, I want to talk about my faith in my songs. Like I really want to say some very stern and strong things about what I believe. And we grow and mature, so everything I said on the first album, I probably may not say on this album because there's more to me now. But the point of it is that, I'm sitting here and I'll never forget it, man. I remember I go do the BT Cypher.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in there. I got Meek Mill over here. I got Ross over here, and I'm sitting there like, man, these are some icons. These are some big dogs.
Right.
They ready to eat.
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying? And
That's
so,
right.
and
Were
I know.
you nervous?
Yeah, I was nervous. Yeah, I'm sitting there, but it's like a hungry.
That's right.
If you about to be in, if you ever get in a fight, the fights you win are the ones who are usually scared. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, bro, I'm gonna have to. I got to go off.
That's real.
So
that's real.
So I'm in there nervous, and I'm sitting there, and I see everybody looking at me, and I know the expectation of me is so low because it's like, ain't this? Oh, that's the Christian dude. That's a Christian buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We gonna watch him.
Yeah, expectations low. And so that nervous energy just turned into an animal where
That's
it's
right.
like, look, I gotta let you know I stand on what I stand on. I rock with what I rock with, and I do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I do this. And it was like, and then you saw people saying, all right.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? All right.
That's a true testament to you can either, fear is inevitable. It's gonna come. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that, I ain't gonna be, but see, the thing is, how you allow that fear to exist within you. You can control the fear, or you can let the fear control you. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Controlling the fear is having an understanding of the circumstances and knowing that the stakes is high. You need to rise to the occasion in order to achieve your destiny.
Yep.
Now, letting the fear control you is being overwhelmed and overcome to the point where you cannot perform.
You can't move
to the highest of your capability.
Paralyzed.
You know what I'm saying? I think that that shit that's it's all commendable, man.
Yeah.
Are there stark differences in dealing with the fan base, like the fan base within the faith sector?
So you got to understand, when I started, nobody knew what to do with me. So it was kind of like when you talk about the faith sector, there was. Music is segregated, so ethnically, racially segregated. So there is gospel music, which means black.
You say racially segregated?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How so?
Gospel means black. I don't care how you spin it. It means black.
Okay.
Contemporary Christian or Christian means white.
Oh.
So
contemporary.
Just like R&B means black for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Or is Beyonce pop or R&B? They're gonna call her a R&B artist no matter how high she rises, no matter how popular she is, because she black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So name me a white gospel artist. It doesn't have. I mean, there might be some, but I'm just saying.
I don't know none.
So it's black. So for me, it was like, well, the white kids like him, but he's black. Right. So is he gospel or is he Christian? Well, the black kids like him, but the pastors don't rock with him because it's a little too.
And what every time we say
you got a tip.
I got a bone to pick. I got a bone to pick with the pastor simply because, man, they've been taking money from poor people for so long, man, and doing so little, man.
I don't disagree.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree.
Everybody always come to the athletes, the actors, the artists, the rappers, and everybody. We always hold to part ways with ours and do for. But these people been here. We just got our money.
Now I feel you.
These people and we pay taxes on ours. These people, man, been getting tax-free money, cash money in the hood for so long, man. For so long. Like, let's just say, even something simple, man. When a little league football team need money for a trip to travel down to Miami to play and or they need money for an after school program or money to keep the band going, the program going at the high school. Okay, they come and they holler at me, they holler at Killer Mike, they holler at all the people that they know come from the community. But what about the preachers, man?
No, I agree.
Why they doors ain't getting knocked on?
I don't agree with a lot of the Americanized institutions that we call church. So it could get real heavy and real deep. It's a good brother. Y'all should look him up. His name is Dr. Vincent Bantu.
Okay.
Go Google him. Do your Googles on him. But he breaks down,
Google.
Yeah, he breaks down a lot of this type of stuff. But my whole thing on that is that absolutely those are the loudest, biggest, voices because they doing so much damage and so many people flocking to them. But there's a lot of good individuals, a lot of good pastors and preachers who ain't on that page. You know what I'm saying? Who don't get the credibility, who don't get the acknowledgement. You know what I'm saying? And we know how that goes. It's
sure.
It's just that's
bad news travels faster.
Yeah, it does. So it just ends up being like that. But as far as me in that space, gospel didn't know what to do with me. Contemporary Christians said, well, he's
still a nigga, y'all. I know he's like, we love the Lord, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
And then
still a nigga,
yeah. You got, what was the irony of it though is that they was more willing initially to say, well, we'll take a chance because we do rock and roll, and they wasn't as like rigid. But then when it came down to social issues, then it was like, all right, you all right, buddy.
You didn't have a little went a little too far there.
Yeah,
brother.
all right,
a little too far there, brother.
You talking about prison reform?
Yeah. No.
Sit that down.
Let's dial this down. Let's dial it back a little bit.
So finding a home was hard.
Now, speaking of finding a home, okay, so I know that you've had meetings with, let's just call it secular, radio stations and networks like BET, MTV, so on and so forth, and record labels. And then you've also had meetings with the faith-based community, whether it's the gospel faith-based community or the contemporary Christian faith-based community. Which of those meetings do you think you're more likely to go in here and just go the fuck off? Which of those meetings you just say, man, I'm cussing today. I'm cussing today. You motherfuckers got me fucked up. We gonna have to pull this shit back to the third ward. Which of these meetings would allow would bring that kind of energy out of Lecrae?
You know what? Honestly, so let me say this. I'm a real person, so I'm never gonna pretend as if I would hope that I would compose myself on either side of the fence.
But we all fall short of the glory.
And so I'm just saying, I'll be honest with you, because the mainstream side of music, they don't hide anything. They don't it's like, oh, you just gonna be outright disrespectful. You're not even gonna hide the disrespect, huh? And because the music industry, period, it's not like a code of ethics in the music industry. It's not like HR is operating in these buildings. So for somebody to tell me, what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, and just, blatantly, like, I think on one side it may be more suggestive, but on this side it's like, no, I'm going to just tell you. I'm going to call you a nigger to your face.
Which side is that?
That's the mainstream side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just like, there's a freedom and a liberty over there to where it's like, I don't care, man, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to say. You want to say Jesus, say it, I don't care, whatever.
But then I'm going to call you a nigga.
It's like, wow, you really gonna slap this executive right now in the office right now? That's what you gonna do? Okay. That's how it goes. So it bring out something in you to where it's like you gotta suppress wanting to match that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I me being a lover of vocabulary, I always kind of look at the juxtaposition of the two words pray and pray. You see what I'm saying? Like, pray when you bend your knees, fold your hands, talk to God. That's one thing. But the other pray, as in, if you ain't strong enough, you'll be preyed upon.
You are prey.
You know what I'm saying?
You are prey.
If you are not the predator, you will be the prey.
Yeah, facts.
How do you decide which prey to operate within?
See, I'm always, the way I look at it is this. And this concept is tough for people to grasp because it sounds like weakness, but it's not. So, a sheep killed a wolf. How did a sheep kill the wolf? The sheep don't have any form of defense. It doesn't have sharp teeth. It's actually one of the weakest animals out there. It's one of the dumbest animals in existence. But one day a sheep killed a wolf. How did it happen? Well, the sheep just stayed close to the shepherd, and the shepherd took care of the wolf, right? You know what I'm saying? So, Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Okay.
So for me, I stay close to the shepherd. You know what I'm saying? So it's aligning myself with God's wisdom, with God's perspectives on stuff.
Right.
So it allows me to have discernment, so I can see the snakes, the wolves coming.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, all right, I don't have to play your game because I know y'all play snake games. So, we're going to be shrewd. I'll let you believe you getting away with murder right now, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think it just comes from a level of discernment and being able to identify the snakes and the wolves, because that's pretty much what you got going on out there. And
absolutely,
we all got it in us.
It's rampant.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we all got it in us.
It's just how much of that we will allow to take control of our actions.
Exactly. All my best friends I grew up with are currently or have been incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? And
you never been locked up?
I ain't never been locked up. But
won't he do it? Staying close to the ship.
But it ain't the only reason why I can say that's it.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, I done escaped some situations that I, you know what I'm saying, by the skin of my teeth.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? But so I'm not sitting here acting like I was just so smart and I just had it figured out and I escaped the penitentiary.
That's right.
But I escaped.
If not for the grace of God, I'd be doing life sentences after life sentences right now. I can't tell you no lie.
And there we
go.
What
I mean? Now, as much trouble as you've seen me get into, that pales in comparison to the shit I done got away with.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So, but yeah, I just try to stay close and keep the snakes. Now,
speaking of snakes, you be in the trenches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Another thing that we have is our genuine interest to revitalize our community. You know what I'm saying? And now you have been restoring you've been restoring the community. Actually, my community where I'm from, over on the west side, we both have things going on over there in the Bluff, which is a highly gentrified area right now.
Right.
Would you like to talk about any of your programs and the things that you have going on? Yeah,
so for me, I'm always the type of person where no matter where I go, I'm always gonna be in the hood. So I'm always gonna connect there. And when I moved to Atlanta, years and years ago.
How many years?
12 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, just trying to figure out how to make something happen out here, and I was in the hood.
Right. Which hood you went to first?
East Atlanta.
Okay.
So yeah, I was overall
like Kirkwood,
Boulder Crest. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So. For me, I'm just like, all right, well, this is my foundation. Before that, I was in Memphis. I was in Memphis for 3 years in the hood. I was in Binghamton in the trenches.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Now that's the motherfucking that's the ghetto.
Man, listen.
That's the hood.
Listen, I knocked on my next door neighbor door one morning. They was like, oh, she got killed yesterday. You late. You know what I'm saying? So it was gutter.
Motherfuckers shooting the shooters out there. You hear me?
What? So shout out to Binghamton, shout out to Memphis.
Yeah, shout out to Memphis, man. Everybody out there from Memphis, man, because you know what I'm saying. It really is. It's a feat just to stay alive from time to time.
Man.
Then to become successful and to maintain a certain level of success,
man,
while staying alive.
Man, what?
And not having to do nothing that, you know what I'm saying, is going to take you away from your success.
Facts.
Like whatever's being done in Atlanta. If it's being done in Memphis, that shit is way
you on
hard.
Another level.
Like Got It and Youngster and Moneybag and Dolph and all them is actually, and Juicy J and them. And for them to come, and for Juicy J and them to have been doing it back then.
Man, what?
And making it up until today, like that is an amazing feat. So you started there and ended up here.
Started there, ended up here. And I was in the hood there, and I always, my mom my mom is militant. She grew up being fed by the Black Panther, so she put that in me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always want to take care of my people, take care of my community. So when I got to Atlanta, for me, it was like, well, this is my new home. This is my new hood.
Okay.
These my new people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I first got out here, I'm trying to connect on that level. You know what I'm saying? And people saw that and respected it, and it allowed me to connect with folks on a grassroots level to where I said, all right, so what do I need to do? So that got me, into revitalizing communities. And my partner, Benjamin Wills, he said, man, I live over in the Bluff in English Ave, and he was like, man, it ain't been no school here since '96.
Damn.
And he was like, man, what if a school was here? And he said, I want to do a school. I said, let's do it. So I got behind him, and the first school in decades was established. Peace Preparatory Academy right there in English. I've been there for 4 years now.
That's fast.
It's rocking.
Congratulations, man.
Look.
And thank you for, using your platform, your resources, and your experiences, man, to benefit, the children and the people of our community, man. Because you don't have to do that.
Right.
You could have took that shit right to third wall if you wanted to. You didn't have to do that.
And that's the thing too. Even with Houston, I had floods going on. I had family members trying to take care of everything going on back home too. But Southeast San Diego, my grandma is. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever I can do. I understand the gap, the wealth gap, the disparity. So for me, it's like, man, what do I need to do to get involved?
The lack of education, experiences, and exposure.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that are keeping our community down.
Absolutely.
And, until we can fill those gaps, you know what I'm saying, we're going to always have, just a disparity.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, too, about
a disparity.
Disparity. I'll tell you something about you, too, man, is, not that you don't know about yourself, but I think people do.
Oh, that's my favorite topic. Talk about me all you want to. You go right ahead.
I'm always, I've been in the game long enough to just kind of like, man, I take everything as a grain of salt. I don't know how legit this is or that is or whatever, but man, we was just having a sidebar conversation, and man, you gave me a lot of game just on investment stuff and so on and so forth, right. and you didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it just was like, oh man, he just, it was just a get in, get out, but you felt like, man, let me go ahead and bop, 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 bop. So. Yeah. That's the type of energy I respect and appreciate, and I see it's genuine need.
Man, absolutely. But it's our job, man. When we make it to a certain level in life, man. Once we learn, I must quote Young Thug. When I interviewed him, he said something that was eloquent, so eloquent and just like prolific that I wasn't expecting it to come out of his mouth. And he said, "You must teach what has been taught." You know what I'm saying? I was like, huh? What? Well, damn. He said, "Yeah, man, Jay-Z know how to make it. He done got to $1 billion. He know how to make it. Bro. He done made it. So now he need to teach me."
Facts.
And I say, well, he need to just teach you. He said, nah, he need to teach everybody.
Yeah, big
but
time.
If he ain't gonna teach everybody, he at least need to teach me.
Teach me. I'll teach them.
I teach everybody.
I'll teach everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Me. So that's how I feel about it, bro. I'm a find the ones who I consider the good ones, the solid ones, man, and I'm gonna support them with whatever kind of information, or resources or relationships even that I can. You know what I'm saying? And aside from the restoration of the community, and you have a new project coming out called Restoration, your 9th album.
Yeah, dang, it's been that many. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, you did that shit quick too.
Underground, just
you know what I'm saying. So you still independent?
Yeah,
completely independent.
Well, my label is independent. I did a 2-album deal with Columbia, so I'm on my 2nd one with Columbia.
Okay, how's that?
It's been cool because, the way we set up the deal, you know what I'm saying? There's been too many Cash Money and Master P's examples for me to go in there like.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Got to get your master.
Yeah.
Got to have your master.
Nah, that's not going to happen. Y'all ain't getting that.
Yeah, it comes in handy too. I will say, man, you know what I'm saying? I make more money off my catalog right now than I do off, you know what I'm saying, anything else I got going on. My catalog pay me more than shows or than, you know what I'm saying? If I drop a new song today, I don't care what they do because I'm still earning money from my catalog.
Slight flex. He got #1 radio singles just by the way. So that's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate all of that, man. But striking the deals that I did back then for myself, man, enabled me to be in a position where I am right now. And for you to recognize that and be an example for people in this generation to do that, man, I think that's also commendable. Talk about your 9th album, man, Restoration.
Yeah, Restoration, man. For me, it was a personal project because I think people don't believe in restoration. People think, man, my cousin. I won't use my cousin. I use another person. But I got a partner. He's been in prison for 13 years, and his brain was initially like, well, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And then that turned into, well, you know what? I really can't change the situation, but I can be changed in this situation.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And now he runs a podcast out of the prison. He's been writing. He writes articles. They get picked up by magazines. He's taking financial literacy classes, been able to give his family game on investments and all type of stuff. And I'm like, look, your time is being restored. You know what I'm saying? for your kids, for your mom, all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not over. Right. Now, obviously, that's not the situation we want you to be in.
Absolutely not.
But it's not over.
But if it's God's plan.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know. At the snap of a finger, man, things could change. The doors could open, and your entire life could be like revitalized.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want you to believe in that.
But will you be ready for that?
That's the big thing too. Is being ready for that, and restoration is work. You know what I'm saying? It takes work. So for me personally, you know, it was a mental journey for me to be mentally and emotionally restored, because I felt like I had let the trappings of the industry wear me down.
Man,
you know what I'm
saying? So did I. I think, man, you know what I'm saying? Once you're having a success and notoriety and abundance, it ain't even necessarily the money always. You know, the money gonna come and you gonna have distractions to come with the money, you know what I'm saying? But how people treat you when they know you have the money, that is the greatest distraction of all. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I guess the change in how you are received. And it begins to jade your vision. Man, I feel like abundant success. I describe it all the time. It's kind of like being in a deep sleep. Like if you talk to me about some things that happened back during Urban Legend, King album, trap music, you know, I remember like the big stuff, but there's a lot of things that happened that I don't even remember. A lot of conversations, a lot of perspectives, a lot of things that I've said, a lot that I don't even really remember, because you know how when you sleep and somebody talking to you while you sleep and you still talking, but you ain't really in it. You sleep, sure. And you just no. Yep. That's how abundant success is. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? And you don't wake up until something wake you up.
Something wake you up.
You dig what I'm saying?
And that's what had to happen to me.
When I count my case, the second one. Sometimes you got to be woke up again. You know what I'm saying? I was in a deep sleep. Yeah. But you know, like you have to be woke up, and then it's almost like, whoa. Yeah. Okay, I'm here. Okay, I can see it now. I can hear. Okay, now I understand. Yeah. Now I get where. So the shit might not last forever. Boy. Okay, so it can. All right. Because at first you thought like, man, for me, this shit coming in, man, ain't no signs of stopping. Stop for what? Turn down for what? Buy it. Yeah,
more.
3 of them.
Give me, more. You know what I mean? Garçon.
Yeah, exactly. Continue. Onward. Yeah. I mean, so and that's why I can understand where artists, you know, at a certain point in their career, they aren't necessarily as, how can I say, aware of their decisions. Yeah. They aren't necessarily as aware of the things that they're saying. Man. They aren't necessarily as just aware of their circumstances and how to handle their money and how to accept advice.
Oh man, that's the biggest one.
And aware of how they are actually treating people.
That's what I was gonna say too. Yeah, it's like you don't even understand. It's so many ripple effects from your actions and your decision making process. And for me, I felt like I was riding the train of success, and my family was underneath the track. You know, just getting run over. I felt like, you know, it's like, man, you just not considering folks. And then you almost begin to become a tyrant. I did anyway, because people was treating me like that. So then it's kind of like, well, if this is the way y'all gonna treat me, then okay, then, you know, I gotta be a little more. I'm dealing with swimming with sharks every day, man. I gotta get my teeth a little sharper.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't want to become that person. You know what I'm saying? I would see these folks and I would be like, man, how'd they get there? And then I was like, oh, this is how they got
You
there.
Can't be a lamb amongst beasts.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot do that, because that, you know, then you will be prey.
Man. Yeah, so it was a unique experience. So that's what restoration is to me. It's like, man, is really getting a hold of that.
I'm looking forward to it. So what could we expect? You know what I'm saying? What kind of music? What do you?
I got, you know, for me it's life. It's you know, you hearing my life through music, but then you hearing other people's perspectives too. So, you know, I may be a song with, you know, like a John Legend that's more, you know, talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is, I was about to drown and now I'm not drowning. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But then, you know, I had to, you know, I had to go over the eardrummers and collect some stuff and get a little dirty with it and let people
Shout
know.
out to Mike Will.
Yeah, you know, what it's like.
As you
know what I'm saying?
Man.
So you just mixing it up. And then, of course, I got my own label, too. Shout out to 1K Few. You know, he got a project called Woo 2. Schoolie on there, Lance Strip Trip on there, go get it. RG, Hovey.
Now, are they kind of in the Christian vein as well?
Yeah, so I really feel like this. We pioneered a lane, and it's not to say it wasn't done before. There's been Christian rap.
And I said this, I said this, you know, at the beginning of the episode when I said, you know, you made it, you know, popular. But yeah. I think Kanye Jesus Walks it did set the stage some.
For people to be, everything has crack
yeah,
levels. So
I
you
must
gotta
give some consideration.
You gotta keep going back. Obviously, you got, even if you say, man, who wrote the first rap record, you gonna have to go back before that and just some disco record with a rap on there.
Gil Scott Heron.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's people years before me.
Or Muhammad Ali.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's people way before me and what we doing. But yeah, I think these are all individuals who affirm, Christian values, and everyone is different. Some people are very explicit in how they present their message, and other people are more implicit in how they present their message.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So
now, what are some of the issues that you are passionate about, that you like to get involved in, man? Like the issues that, that you feel your energy, efforts, and attention are best applied.
After 2015, with what I call Black Death on the television every day. I think.
Now what's that?
Just Philando, Eric Garner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like Black Death everywhere.
Yeah, the dog years.
It was happening, but now it's being televised.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think after that,
that's what made me really change I switched my whole shit up then too.
Yeah.
I switched my whole shit up just because I was like, man, you can't just be sitting at the top of a hill watching all of this chaos and mayhem go on down here with the same, that you watching it happen to the very people who put you in this position. And you can't be so high up and not care about what's going on to the people that, you know what I'm saying, who put you high up.
Absolutely.
So that's where Us or Else came from for me.
Yeah. So that was a big, for me, in terms of like involvement. I've always wanted to be involved. I've always been like, I go to the prisons and I do a show, or I do stuff in the community. But I think when that happened, I was vocal, and then which I'm sure you've experienced. Well, it was so much backlash from being vocal.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, and with me at least, it wouldn't have had as good of a job to do with you, but with me at least. They always go back to, now he wanna be conscious.
Like we can't evolve.
What happened to dope boys in the trap?
Yeah.
What happened to this? What happened to, hey man, it's still there, it's on the menu. You order it, you will be served, sir.
I think what people don't understand is it's a term. Shout out to my man Prop. He's a super educated collegiate cat, but he broke down this intersectionality. And it basically is like where things intersect, where my academics intersect with my street knowledge, where Tupac's ballet intersected with him living in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I can be all of these things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's intersections, and there's a reason why I'm this way. So people even have a struggle with that. Like, well, how can you be Christian but then you talking about the black struggle? It's like,
it's called diversity, people.
Man. So that was an issue, but I think that's what got me awakened.
People get to projecting though, because what they do is they look at their faults, their fears, and their failures with that they have experienced with themselves.
Yeah.
And when they see us, because they say, well, I couldn't be a trap nigga and educated and good looking and respected from the dope house to the White House. I really come from the trap, and you know that because the White House would never respect me.
Right.
No, bro. No, that's your story.
Your story.
That's your story.
That's your narrative.
That's your truth.
Yeah.
Because you accept that as your truth.
Yeah.
I know that I got better for myself. I know for myself I can accomplish more, do more. I can achieve more. And that is why I have so much diversity within me, because I expect me to be diverse.
Yeah.
And I think you have, you know what I'm saying, you have that same attribute.
And got to, because it's so much out there. So for me, it's like, man, I'm gonna be involved in a whole bunch of different stuff, and I thank God for folks like that. I think Killer Mike's one,
man, Kill one of the smartest cats.
What?
And David Banner, man.
Yeah, David Banner too. Both of them have been like mentors in a lot of different ways to me.
Right on.
Because of how they intersectionality, they diversity. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because it takes certain type of people to relate to other type of people. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another thing for me too, is that certain folks relate to what I'm talking about. They like, man, you're not gonna walk into a prison cell and not hear about some people who are like, man, I go to chapel, I'm a Christian. Right. But what's their background and what's their soundtrack?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I need a soundtrack, and this song is, connects me with my community, but I need a song to connect me with my spirituality and my community, and that's where I kind of try to fill in that gap.
I think that's dope, man. I think that's dope. And everything we do to others and for ourselves, everything that we expect from others and from ourselves, all based in beliefs. You dig what I'm saying? So what's your belief structure? You know what I'm saying? Because beliefs determine behavior. You know what I mean? Some people say, like, for instance, right? Now I'm gonna get a little deeper. Some of the ladies might not want to hear this. Y'all might want to turn your speakers off right now. But okay, so some people believe that a man should have more than one woman.
Oh, okay.
Some people believe that a man should have more than one woman. That's what they believe.
I was nervous at first. I didn't know where this was about to go.
I expect you should be, because you can go.
I was like, wait,
you go anywhere.
Wait a minute.
One thing we know about me, you never know what this nigga gonna say.
What's this headline for the beat?
You dig what I'm saying? Hey, you did that. That'll be good for restoration. You know what I'm saying? It'll be all over everywhere. Hey, but look though, right? Some people believe that it's all right to have more than one woman. I don't know why anybody want more than one wife. You know what I'm saying? More than one woman to answer to. That's. Whew, that's like having more than one probation officer. I don't know who would want that, but I'm just saying, for the sake of discussion, some people believe that it's all right to have more than one woman, and that isn't cheating to them. Now, if your belief is that it's not all right to have more than one woman, if someone has more than one woman, then he's going to be a womanizer, he's going to be a cheater, he's going to be an adulterer, so on and so forth. So the belief that you have will determine your behavior.
Yeah.
Some things, you know what I'm saying, like for instance, some people believe that there's a time to kill. Others believe that there's not a time to kill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your beliefs will determine your behavior.
I don't disagree with that. I think as we get philosophical with it, I get to a place where I say, okay, I do think that's true. Where is the moral code?
Right.
And what determines that? Because for me, I believe this is how I when I work it backwards, I say, all right, I think I matter.
That's right.
Well, why do I matter? Well, because something has to give me purpose. If there's no God and I'm just a bunch of atoms and cells, then I don't matter. I'm just plasma. And if I don't matter, then nothing matters. So I can do whatever I want to do and make up the rules as I go along, because nothing matters. So if I really believe that, I need to carry it out to its fullest extent. I might as well go rob banks, shoot people, do whatever I want to do.
You never start hiding that, man. You never start hiding that. You never, you know what I'm saying, go get rid of a big problem.
Yeah, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, so for me, it's like, all right, so I do matter. Why do I matter? Because I feel like there's a higher arc, or somebody's giving me purpose.
That's right.
So if I have purpose, then now I gotta ask myself, where did I get this purpose from? So that's when the whole creator journey starts for me. Okay. And now, like you're saying, you either gonna live with the idea that there is a higher moral standard
that you expect for yourself.
Period.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like a higher moral standard you should live up to,
right.
or you won't be able to.
Yeah.
I break my rules every day.
Absolutely.
But if there's not,
new day, new rules.
If there's a higher moral standard, then who is it? What is it? And then you gotta figure that out. So for me, that was my journey. It's like, all right, let me figure this out. And when we get into religions and whatnot, then I start digging into, all right, well, well, what does this one say? And what does this one say? And for me, it's like all of them come up with standards I can't keep.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, my faith is more about understanding that the standard was kept for me and I'm trusting in that versus, and so yes, I live my life based off of love, not based off of religiosity.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if I come home right now to my wife with a bunch of flowers and she open up the door and I say, here you go, baby, I just picked these up, you can have them. I felt like it was my duty to give you these. And she gonna be like, well, then, what?
Yeah.
I don't want them.
It don't seem genuine.
It's not
point.
It's not out of love, it's out of duty. That's religion.
Yeah.
So if I'm walking down the street, I'm like, man, I love this girl. Man, you know what I'm saying? Let me get these flowers. I come home, I'm like, baby, guess what I got for you? Because I love you. I was thinking about you all day. That's love.
Right.
My actions was motivated by love, not by religiosity, not by so on and so forth. So my beliefs, I believe in genuine love, and I think people my belief system is foundational on love, and that's what you got to dig into. And love will kill.
Love conquers all.
Love conquers all, but love will kill.
Absolutely.
I will kill for my loved ones.
Absolutely.
If you come into my house and you threaten to take my child's life.
Yeah, down, Jack.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, down,
but that's
Jack. No hesitation.
That's not me saying I'm trying to find somebody. You know
I am. I am. Won't your ass come on?
He didn't say that.
Man, I'm telling you.
Free
kill too. It's a free kill.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying I'm not looking for it,
man.
But listen, if you come,
no, I mean, I'm not looking for it because I don't want that kind of threat to be brought to my home.
That's what I'm saying.
However, I welcome all danger with equal and opposite force.
But he don't have no guns. He got security. Just so y'all know that. He's not
Absolutely.
When he says that, he means the butcher knife in the kitchen. That's what he's talking about.
You absolutely right. Yep. They ain't take my knives.
Yeah.
They ain't take my knives. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, but what you said it resonates because your last tour was about real unity, not pretend unity.
Yeah, fact.
Now what you think we need to do to have real unity? What does that take? What does that look like?
Empathy, understanding, listening to one another. You know what I'm saying? Like, so me going to my grandmother's house in Southern California every year, I got the real concentrated Bloods and Crips. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say they're not real anywhere else in the USA, but I'm just saying it was concentrated. And so what I saw was everybody growing up together, elementary school, kicking it, but then around middle school, hey bro, we gotta choose a side. And it's because we not listening to each other no more. We can't hear. I can't even hear you. So it can't be no unity because I can't hear you. I'm not even listening to you. I'm not trying to hear your perspective. I'm just hearing what was told to me. And I think that's the problem in general. That's the problem in with all disunity is like no one is listening to what the other people got to say. They just, what did they say about them? Okay, well I'm moving on that.
Yeah, look, it take a lot of strength and solidarity and self-awareness to have your own opinion.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now, motherfuckers just really wake up, turn on Instagram, and say, okay, that's what people saying. That's how I feel.
Yep.
That's how I feel. How many people said this? Okay, yeah, that's the majority. That's why I feel, period.
Yep.
Don't nobody want to be the only one in the comments saying, no, that ain't right, y'all. And you're going to be stoned.
Stoned.
You will be
stoned.
You will be verbally stoned. Get your stupid ass up, you know what I'm saying?
Which is crazy to me because I'm like, all you got to do is log out.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is turn the phone off.
That's it. I mean, I don't understand how people, including myself, have, you know what I mean, gotten themselves wrapped up in what other people say to the point where they are upset and talking into the phone.
Yeah.
You know, with hostility.
Oh, you be on there too. I seen you a couple times. Especially when you posted your daughter. I saw you, boy. You was like, look, you were coming for him.
I mean, because that's how I feel, bro. That's how I feel.
I would feel that way too. I'm just saying.
But at the same time, I have to remind myself that these are problems or issues or adversities or conflicts that I have to go find. I got to, right now, pick up my phone. I got to unlock it.
Right.
Then I got to go to the app, open it,
scroll,
then hit the damn comment section, and you got to scroll down about 4 or 5 times to get to the real bullshit. You know what I mean? You got to scroll 4 or 5 times, but every the real bullshit ain't never at the top of the comment. You got to keep scrolling down. You notice how motherfuckers scroll all through all the good shit.
Man,
and don't say nothing. And then when they get straight to the what this motherfucker say? You know what I'm saying?
That joint say 200,000 likes. one negative comment. I'm about to go in on this person.
Hey, man, I know you got to get out of here, so I'm going to wrap it up, man. Yeah. But you recently had a conversation at State Farm to celebrate ML King Day.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lot of controversy, as it is every year, surrounding the celebration of Martin Luther King and how people have kind of contemporary, like they
gentrified him.
They what?
Gentrified him.
They have gentrified Martin Luther King's image. And I, for one, think it's some bullshit. Some things should be sacred. But what's your opinion about if he was alive today? What you think he would think, say, or be most outraged about?
You know, I forgot who said it, but his approval rating wasn't high during his time period. Yeah, so I think I love Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
Sidebar. I think he was real. I think he was a human. I think we take away the human side of Martin Luther King.
Right
so I think he was a struggling husband. I think he was a parent trying to do his best in the midst. You know what I'm saying? I heard he was so depressed, Mahalia Jackson had to sing him out to bed one time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So
now that's like legendary.
That's what I'm saying.
Mahalia Jackson to sing you out to bed.
Well, I mean, that's what it took.
That's hell.
But imagine this. He couldn't go to therapy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they would risk it all of him sharing all these details with somebody that could mess up the whole movement.
That's real.
So for me, I just see him as a very human person. I see Coretta's husband, Bernice's father, who was brilliant and doing some incredible things for our community, and that's what you got to give him credit for. People always want to either lionize him and make him more than a human and say this is the perfect person, which makes it so easy to tear him down. Because as soon as you exalt this man beyond humanity,
right, nobody can live up to that.
Exactly. Right. So now that's why everybody start digging into what he did wrong and he did this and he didn't do this.
He was just a man.
If he was a human,
he was a man with profound actions.
That's all I'm saying. So if he's a human who did amazing things, like you said, profound actions, expeditiously, y'all.
I got to have you back, bro, because there's some more things that I feel we need to discuss. I mean, it's sort of like with your height and all, I got to know why you ain't in the NBA.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? You got to host.
I chose. You got to choose rap or play basketball. I chose.
Okay, that's the same thing 2 Chainz said.
You got to chose.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah. Are there any books that you recommend to the young people to read?
Okay. Man, read Barracoon by Zora Neale Hurston. It just came out, but it was written a long time ago, and they wouldn't let it out. Because Barracoon. It's a story of the biography of an actual slave that made it through the Middle Passage. It's phenomenal. His story is phenomenal. Okay. So read that. Read Contagious. Nipsey recommended Contagious. Is the reason why things catch on. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's a phenomenal book that I think everybody should read. And read my book, Unashamed.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It's a New York Times bestseller.
You know what I'm saying?
So read my book, Unashamed. I'm sitting here looking at, like it's a camera looking at me right here, looking crazy, like I'm talking to nobody.
Don't worry about it, man.
Read my book, Unashamed. Read Barracoon, and read Contagious by Nip, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are some great books. You know what I'm saying?
A book that, you know what I'm saying, Nip recommended. Well, he didn't actually recommend this one to me, but Lauren gave it to me, and said that that it was a book that, Nip used to change parts of himself that I needed and still need to change about myself. And it's called The Way of the Superior Man.
Okay. The Way
It's
of
a
the
dope.
Superior
I'm talking
Man.
about it's a dope book, especially young men in relationships and dealing with women, whether it's trying to stay with one woman or having to deal with multiple personalities from several women if you're single, or if your belief system allows you to do that kind of thing. I think Way of the Superior Man is a dope book, man. But before we go, is there anything that you'd like to share about upcoming projects? Are you in politics? As far as politics is concerned, like, what's your involvement?
To me, it's a necessary function of being a citizen in this country, but it's not something that I obviously I don't believe. It's, to me, there's a lot of unnecessary aspects of it. So I think it's a setup from the get up, but that's a whole long story.
A setup from the get up.
It's a setup from the get up.
I can get with that.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like me telling my kid, hey, you have to play an instrument, the guitar or the drums.
Right.
And they like, so I don't get to choose the flute? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man. But yeah, I get into it.
Now we have a tradition here at Expeditiously, as you know.
Talking about the word of the day?
The word of the week, absolutely.
I should do it instead of you this
Okay,
time.
we'll do it then. You got one for me?
Cause I got some. Well, we.
What you got, man? I can't wait. This is hey man. This is a treat.
Let's see here. First of all, it should be restoration. Just because.
Okay.
It should be restoration.
Do you have the formal definition for restoration that you would like to? We could head to the Google.
You want to head to the Google?
Yeah, I get.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's head to the Google.
I work that out for you. Let me see here.
You know what I'm saying?
Restoration.
That's a good word right there. You know what I'm saying? I have my own. I'll unpack the definition as it is read.
Okay.
From the Google.
Here you go, brother.
All right, here we go. I can't do it in tip voice. I'm gonna do it in mine. You know what I'm saying? Restoration, the action of returning something to a former owner, place, or condition. I don't like owner, but returning something to a former place or condition. And this is what I'll say on restoration. See, I believe that if I'm gonna use this, I'll use this as an analogy. If I took $100 bill and I crumbled it up and I spit on it and I stepped on it and I said, you ain't worth nothing. You trash. You'll never be nothing. You nothing. When I unravel it, it's still worth $100. It never lost its worth regardless of what was said to it, done to it, what it was put through.
Right.
And so the worth is, there's nothing been taken away from the worth. It just needed to be opened up, maybe ironed a little bit to be restored.
And cleaned if you spit on it.
Cleaned if I spit. Okay, well, yeah.
The soap and water wouldn't hurt.
But but it's restored, you know what I'm saying, to the condition, and it's still useful. So, you know what I'm saying? We didn't all rip some money on accident. What you do, you get some tape, you tape that joint back up together.
I'll give it to the people just like that, man. Here, you got some tape back there, don't you? Here you go.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? So, but I look at it like that. So restoration, man, is if you were created to be a Bentley, why would you live like a Honda?
You dig?
You know what I'm saying? Like now, why are you gonna drive around with that messed up transmission? Get it restored so that it functions in the way that it was originally intended to function.
So it can serve you properly.
And do what it needs to do. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So,
well, man, thank you so much, brother. You always welcome here, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. I played a song for you earlier, and I would love for you to. Just take time to consider.
You heard it here first.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody probably never gonna hear it. I just make songs for myself, man.
Put it on SoundCloud.
I just can't, man. Put it on. That's what I might do. I might become a SoundCloud rapper. You know what I'm saying? And if you need me for your project, man, if you got some time,
I was gonna wait till I got in here to be like, so what's up with this project that I'm about to be putting out?
I ain't got no problem with it, man.
Okay,
I love to pop out, man. You know what I'm saying? I hop in the blender with everybody who they say posed to be good. Everybody who I'm talking about everybody, man, from the tip of the tip.
You said he what?
Come on in here, man. Come on in here. Let me see how you working it.
All right,
let's see how it work. And anytime, man, if you want me to get in there with you, man. And when does it come out for the people?
This spring. So
okay.
I'm still, I'm now that I'm your studio right here as well. So
and you're welcome here anytime you need to use our facility, man. You're welcome to come on in, man. You have a home here, brother. I appreciate you. And for once and for all, you're not a Christian rapper. He's not a Christian rapper.
You call me whatever you want to, as long as you support the music.
Just pay him.
What you call me.
Just pay him.
Listen to the music.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I want to thank you, brother. I want to thank you not just for being here. I want to thank you for being an example and for showing people, man, that you can exist outside of the formalities or the confirmation that have been set up for you by society and by people who expect you to be what they are okay with seeing you be. Like, I think people need to see that.
Respect.
And then it make me not feel so weird about it when I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
Well, love and respect, brother. And this has been Expeditiously. Watch your favorite episodes of Expeditiously right now on the Expeditiously YouTube page.